This is a short presentation about the RegisterClick Caucus system. This covers the check-in tool for Caucus Night. The objective of this system is to, well, basically make happy attendees. So we want to see who's eligible to vote, authenticate eligible participants, collect contact information. This is how we get our marketing information, CRM information for the party. That's people's preferred name, their telephone number, and email address. And then we just want to have shorter lines and make it fast and easy to attend the caucus meeting. So this program has three features. It allows for online check-in of people attending the caucus, also offline check-in, and then there's a way to enter election results, but that'll be a separate video. Right now we're only talking about the check-in process. So the first thing that we have for online check-in is when you start Caucus Click, you'll see this menu, and you'll see there are two sections. One is the internet precinct check-in, which is the same thing as online check-in, and the second thing is offline check-in. So let's say that you click on or tap Internet Precinct Check-in, then you get this screen. You're going to select your county, select your precinct, and then there is a password. This password you'll get from your county leaders. It's set county-wide, and this allows our county leaders to make sure that only people from your county, only leaders from your county are the ones logging in. Then you enter your own username, and this is because there could be several people in the precinct checking in. If you have one person checking in for every 25 people expected, you could have 8 or even 10 people doing check-in, and this system allows for that. So each person should get their own username, whatever they would like it to be, and put in their own email address and their own phone number. This helps us to track later who were the people involved in doing the check-in and who has completed the upload if there is one required. So you'll be asked to enter this information. There's whatever is the password that's given to you from the county. And then this is me, that's my username, I just selected it. This can be a different username than your VoterClick username. It can be any username. You're going to create your own account here. It does not have to be a previously used username. Okay, when I continue, then this is the screen I'm going to use to check people in. And it's very, very simple. I only have to enter about 3 letters of the person's last name, 3 to 5 letters. And if I enter 3 letters and their house number, then I will get pretty darn close as to who the person is in the precinct. So when I click on Find, it's going to locate everyone who has that house number and a matching last name. So in this case, these people show up, and then I just have to look at the ID that the person's presented and check that against the name. And whatever name is accurate, that's the one I pick. Also, if you have online check-in, the ones that have already checked in are in red. So if the person is in red, this gives you an idea that if you're handing out voting cards, well, maybe they've already checked in another station, and you should ask about that before you hand them another voting card. Okay, once you select the person that you want by just tapping on the name, then you get this screen, and some of these things may be blank, like the preferred name may be blank, or the phone number may be, email may be blank, or there might be some information there. So you just turn the tablet around to the person and say, would you please check this information and make any corrections? So if their phone number is not right, they will correct it. If there are no email address in, then they will just tap email and enter it. Then when they have all the information entered correctly, they'll give it back to you, and you'll click on Register, and you're done. Give them a vote card or a wristband or whatever you're doing for your registration, if you're doing anything. And then also, it's okay to have, as a backup, have them sign a sheet. Don't have them sign the voter registration list, because it takes too long to look up the name, and then we lose our advantage of fast lines. So if you want people to sign in just as a record, then go ahead and just have like a sign-in sheet. So row 1 is the first person, row 2 is the next person. So they just have to sign in whatever is the next blank space, It just only takes a few seconds instead of having to look somebody up on the list. Looking somebody up on the list takes a long time. I know it doesn't seem like a long time, but it really does when you're trying to check people in. It adds up very fast. All right, that's all you need to know for the online check-in. As soon as you click register, you go back to here. You just keep registering people and registering them, checking them in until you're done. Then you click on back. When you click on back, then so let's say that you want to add someone. So somebody shows up, you've already put in their last name and their house number, you get this list, but actually their name is Gladstone, not Glad. So all you have to do is click this add button there at the bottom. Add gives you this form. So you want to be able to match them up with their voter registration. If they're not on the list, you're going to have them complete a voter registration form. So it's probably better to send them to another table for this. So you should have one person who's doing nothing but entering new voters. And here you can just put the information in as they're turning in their voter registration, and that way there's no typing that has to be done later. What will happen is if you take this information right off the voter registration sheet that they give you, it will match up later when that information is entered by the county clerk and a new voter list is obtained. Okay? All right, let's talk about offline check-in. So offline check-in has a number of steps because what you have to do is first download the complete voter list. The purpose for having offline check-in is because sometimes where we're having our caucus meeting, there is not good internet coverage for any reason, whether it's a data plan or Wi-Fi, you just can't get a good signal there. So our process is going to be that first, we're going to download for offline check-in. So when you tap on download for offline check-in, you'll get this screen again. Remember this? So you're just going to enter the same information, the county, the precinct, the password, create a username, an email, and a phone, etc. Username can be any username. And then once you enter all that information and you click on continue, then you're going to see this, download for precinct check-in. So it's going to be, so every 100 records it'll update. So it'll say 100, then 200 records downloaded, then 300 records downloaded, then 700 records downloaded, and pretty soon all the records will be downloaded and you'll go back to the menu again. That means you are ready for offline check-in. You've now downloaded the precinct information. So if you click on offline precinct check-in, then you'll get this screen. Oh, we've already seen this before. It's exactly the same process. You just enter 3 letters of the last name and the house number, but instead of trying to go out in the cloud and get the voter registration information, it's just going to check you in right on the device. It's exactly the same process as before. It's going to give you a list. You're going to select one, and then you're going to turn it around and say, would you please, just make sure this information is correct and, enter in your contact information, okay? That's it. There's no other difference. Now, when you're done checking people in on the offline, then you need to log out, and then that says I'm done. And then you have this last step which is synchronization. So you have to go through synchronization to make sure that you're synchronized. And what the logout will do is the logout will go through this process, and however many records you've checked in, it'll synchronize it. This report tells you how much is done, and then as soon as the synchronization is done, you just return to the menu. And so that is the process for check-in using the the RegisterClick for Caucus tool. That's very simple and straightforward. It makes for fast lines, very short lines, quick check-in, and it also collects all your information accurately by having the person who's checking in be the one who writes it in, types it on the computer without you having to have them write it down by hand and then collect it later. There is another video on using the election results, using the RegisterClick tool, and that'll be for another video. This is Kirby Glad. If you have any questions, here's our support information, and you can also call me, but email is preferred. Thanks.